Ever wonder what's really going on inside your house on one of those sweltering hot days? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a secret, non-stop battle that's happening right under your roof. This is the secret life of your air conditioner.
All right, let's just dive right in with a question for you. If you live somewhere like Florida, what do you think is the single hardest working part of your entire home? Go ahead, take a guess.
So if you guessed the kitchen, with all the cooking and family chaos, that's a really good guess. But honestly, it's not even close.
The real MVP, the true unsung hero of your home, is your air conditioner. And as we're about to find out, it isn't just cooling your house. It's in a constant, brutal fight for its life every single day.
And that brings us to our first big topic here. This is the fundamental conflict: Florida's climate versus your AC. And trust me, the climate is a relentless, unseen enemy.
We all think about the heat, right? But the real challenge, the thing that puts your AC through the ringer, is something else entirely. It's the humidity. On an average summer day in Central Florida, we're talking 80% humidity. That is a massive amount of moisture in the air that your system has to battle.
And all that intense humidity means your AC is basically working two jobs. It's not just lowering the temperature. It's also working overtime to literally pull gallons of water out of the air every day. This nonstop effort is exactly what causes so much wear and tear.
So, let's make this real. Let's look at a real-world example to see how this all plays out. We're going to use the Orlando neighborhood of Pine Hills as a case study. Think of it as the ultimate gauntlet of extreme conditions for an AC unit. In a place like Pine Hills, an air conditioner is fighting a war on 4 different fronts at the same time. You've got the humidity, enemy number 1, which corrodes coils and clogs up the drain lines. Then you have enemy number 2, those daily ambush thunderstorms that cause power surges and can just fry the electronics. Even the ground is an enemy. The damp, sandy soil, enemy number 3, can actually seep moisture into your ductwork and damage it. And finally, enemy number 4 is all that greenery, like Spanish moss and leaves, that can literally choke the outdoor unit, the big fan outside, and cause it to overheat. It's a total assault.
So, with all these things attacking it from the outside, how does the system actually start to fail on the inside? Well, that brings us to the anatomy of a breakdown. We're going to connect the warning signs you might see with what's really going on.
This chart really helps connect the dots. So, if you ever see water pulling up inside your house, the likely culprit is a condensate drain line that's all clogged up, probably with algae. If you feel warm air coming from the vents, that's a classic sign of low refrigerant from a leak. If your whole system just dies after a storm, yep, that's almost certainly an electrical failure from a power surge. And those awful grinding or squealing noises? That often means a major part like the compressor or a motor is on its last legs.
Okay, I know, it sounds pretty grim, but don't worry, there's a battle plan. So now let's look at the professional's playbook and see how the experts actually fight back against this constant onslaught.
Professional HVAC management really boils down to 3 core services. The biggest slice of the pie, as you might guess, is emergency repair. That's fixing things after they break. But look at the other 2 critical parts: preventative maintenance, which is all about stopping problems before they even start, and then system replacement, for when a unit is just too old or beaten down to save. A real strategy needs all 3. So, who are these experts we're talking about? Well, in the HVAC world, the true benchmark for real expertise is something called NATE certification. It stands for North American Technician Excellence, and it's basically the industry's gold standard for proving a technician knows their stuff in the real world.
And this isn't just some random certificate. It's often called the gold standard in HVAC expertise for a reason. It tells you that you've got a pro who truly gets the unique challenges of a climate like Florida's.
All right, here's a great piece of insider knowledge. When you're staring down a huge repair bill, how do you decide if it's even worth it? Well, professionals use a really simple guideline called the $5,000 rule to help make that tough call. Do you repair it, or is it time to replace it?
And the calculation is surprisingly easy. You just take the age of your AC unit in years, and you multiply it by the estimated cost of the repair. If that number comes out to more than $5,000, the rule suggests that replacing the whole system is probably the smarter investment in the long run. So, for example, let's say you have a 12-year-old system with a $500 repair bill. Well, 12 times 500 is $6,000. Since that's over the line, it's a strong sign that it might be time to start looking at new units.
Okay, let's bring this home. Literally, what can you, the homeowner, actually do about all this? This last section is all about your home's first line of defense:
the proactive steps you can take yourself.
Really, the most crucial thing here is to shift your mindset from being reactive to being proactive. Just waiting for a breakdown means you're going to be paying for expensive emergency calls and suffering through miserable downtime with no AC. But focusing on scheduled preventative maintenance, it's cheaper, it leads to way fewer breakdowns, and it helps your system live a much longer, healthier life.
Being proactive means knowing what to look for, and this is your checklist. You should never ignore weak airflow, strange grinding noises, musty smells, or a sudden, crazy spike in your energy bill. And definitely call a pro if you see ice forming on the refrigerant lines or if your system starts turning on and off constantly in these short little bursts. That's called short cycling, and it is a major red flag that something is seriously wrong.
So at the end of the day, in a really demanding climate, your air conditioner isn't just another appliance. It's your home's most important line of defense. It is out there fighting a battle for you every single day. The only question left is, are you giving it the support it needs to win?